She's angry. She wants to go. Some of you guys are genuinely interested in this Ego mini bike, and is it a good option for mini bikes for maybe yourself or your family? Well, I think this is the review you're going to want to know. We've put hundreds and hundreds of miles on this bike, on-road, off-road. We've crashed it, we've buried it, we've flipped it, we've had it upside down. We've done just about everything you can possibly imagine to this dirt bike, and decided to put it all together for you in one spot, one video, so you could decide whether this thing was right for you or not. Now, one of the things about this bike, it's electric. It's battery powered. It runs off from all of the same batteries that powers everything made by Ego. That means that you never have to worry about oil or gas or even keeping it upright, because you can just toss it in the back of your truck and forget about it. But our video isn't going to take place here. We're going to head north and show you some of the stuff that we've been doing with this thing for the entire season. So let's go there now. All right, guys, this mini bike raises a lot of very valid questions. People are really interested in knowing how well this thing performs. What's the quality like? Will it actually do what a real mini bike should do? And a lot more than that. So today I'm gonna judge this bike on a scale of 1 to 10 with a number of different factors. One is the build of this bike. Is it actually a really good mini bike? Will it perform? Will it last out in the trails? Number two, how well does it actually live up to the mini bike standards? You know, what is it? Is it going to be able to compete with a gas-powered mini bike? How fitting is it going to be for an adult? How fitting is it for kids? Is it just made for adults? Is it just made for kids? I'm going to go over a lot of these questions and try to get them answered, because there's, you know, this bike, this is an investment. And it's not like a normal mini bike. It's different in a number of ways. So hopefully by the time we're done with this video, we answer a lot of those questions for you. So I'm not one of them guys that likes to beat around the bush. I like to get right to it right out of the gate. It doesn't have a clutch and it doesn't have gears. There's nothing to shift. So the Ego guys have taken all of the work out of driving a mini bike and all of the thought out of trying to figure out what gear you're in. Let me take it a little bit further. It's not a one gear wonder. It goes top speed of 28 miles per hour. And to get to 28 miles per hour, all you have to do is turn the throttle. And then you can start doing things like chase wild turkeys. I didn't even see those guys here. I'm glad I'd rather run into a pack of wild turkeys than some of the other stuff we've had out here. And that's a pro and a con, because there's no noise. I'm recording this, a lot of the dialogue, while I'm actually driving the mini bike. Meaning, you're going to sneak up on stuff that you may not want to sneak up on. There's nothing bad with having a little brap, 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 brap to scare away the bears, the coyotes, the wolves, and everything else that you all of a sudden find, and they jump out of the bush and they take off. Because I'll tell you straight up, if you scare a bear out of the bush, it can turn your blue jeans brown pretty dang quick. Now you're seeing a split screen because we're going to be testing this in the city as well as the country. But let's get back to this. All right, the size is another one of those things that I want to be critical of. Size and power with this mini bike. Sometimes I absolutely love the size of this mini bike, and there's other times where I'm not quite as in love with the size of it. So is this bike perfect for a full-grown adult? Well, the thing is yes. A full-grown adult can ride this mini bike with no problems whatsoever and get comfortable. That's the problem with this mini bike, is you are comfortable. The quality of this mini bike is absolutely outstanding. Meaning that you start to fall in love with this bike and you want more and more and more, not realizing, hey, maybe this isn't exactly what I was looking for in a mini bike. I thought this was going to be more like a kid's bike. No, absolutely not. This bike performs every bit as good as any other kind of a bike that I've ever been on. But the thing is, these engineers at Ego, when they built this thing, they didn't think of it as a battery-powered mini bike or as a toy. They actually built this thing. The quality in this mini bike is unreal. And this is where, situations like this is where the size is really nice, because you're not lugging something so big that you can't go off-road and go wherever you want with it. But it's not a joke either. It'll take you through some of the most demanding terrain. Another thing is the kickstand is optional, because you can just drop it wherever you want to. Because there's no oil, there's no gas. I'm not saying you should, I'm just saying that's not gonna hurt it. You know, the thing that I think of when I think of this mini bike is it's almost like it's all of the fun, but none of the work. And the size comes in real nice when you want to go trail riding, but there isn't much of a trail to ride on. Now, one of the things I was pretty skeptical about is riding this in the city, because there's nothing about this that looks like a trail bike. I mean, nothing about this that looks like a regular standard electric bike, but it does match some of those criteria. It's got a top speed of 28 miles per hour. And how it handles, and I said it earlier, how it handles off-road and how it handles on-road are kind of two different animals. So this is a great tool to learn how to initially start to ride a mini bike without, oh, look at this. This is an otter trail right here. Otter or beaver? Let's go see what we got cooking. Huh. That's the slide. They come up here, they come that way, they come this way. I have come across more animals on this bike because it's silent but deadly, right? It makes no sound. They don't hear you coming. And you can sneak right up on them. That, I don't see a whole lot of tree strug. Oh, here we go. Yep, beaver. That's a beaver slide. Right there. You can tell that one's a beaver slide. One of the things that makes riding this thing so enjoyable is so quiet. There's no smell, there's nothing. I mean, not only can you go out in nature and not disturb nature, but you can go out in the city and not disturb your neighbors. You can just go riding. Anybody that gets pissed off at you because you're riding a mini bike, well, what are they getting pissed off at you about? Getting pissed off because you're out enjoying yourself? Because you're not polluting. You're not putting two-stroke smoke into the air, which I don't consider polluting, but some people do. You're not putting noise out there. You're just out having fun. Another thing that I do like about the size of this mini bike is it's not intimidating. So a full-size dude, I mean, you can't be a 300-pound Hulk Hogan and hop on this and think you're gonna get comfortable. But my son, he's 250 pounds, 6'4". He rides this thing and loves it. He absolutely loves this bike, and he's got a motorcycle. But he'll ride this mini bike as much as he rides his motorcycle. There's some things about this mini bike that you can do that you can't do on a motorcycle. Like where you can go. Not just off trails, but, oh, Here we go. Sneaking up on Mother Nature right there. That's a baby turkey. Mama turkey's ahead of it. That's what I'm saying. You're so quiet with this thing that you can just sneak right up. That's not always good, you guys. I've snuck up on some stuff that I didn't want to sneak up on. I'd rather have it know I was coming and get the heck out of my way. But it's also these are just a blast to run. Let's talk about the quality of the bike itself. You know, it's a mini bike. You would think that it's kind of made to substandard qualities. It's a battery powered mini bike. So almost like a toy or a joke, but there's nothing about this that it says, hey, this is, they treated it like it was anything less than what the best that they could put forward. This is a well-built machine. And just like that, I go from off trail to the road and I'm at 28 miles an hour. And that's where I maxed out at. Here's the thing. If this could go faster, I absolutely would. If this machine was just a little bit bigger and was powered off from 4 batteries, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Everything about this bike screams, make it bigger. Don't change anything. Give us just more of it. Give us more size, give us more distance, give us more speed. So here's where things get a little bit confusing on this mini bike, this dirt bike. Your front brake is your front brake, but there is no back brake down by your foot. So you're used to normally having a back brake there. And this, which is normally your clutch, so you can shift with, is now your back brake. Works pretty good. Now this is what I call, it's not a one gear wonder. The throttle, there's no shifting on this machine. So this is great for people that may not be so familiar with or accustomed to dirt bikes or riding a dirt bike. This takes that fear out of it because it's just turn the throttle and boom, you're going. It's as simple and straightforward as that. You don't have to clutch, you don't have to shift, you don't have to do a lot of the things you normally would do on a regular dirt bike. But it doesn't mean that it's a joke. It just means that it's a little different than what you may normally be used to in a regular bike. So although there's some things that I really love about this bike and some things that I really don't love about this bike, I would say as far as just build quality of the unit itself, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going high on this. I'm gonna give it a 9 to a 9.5. I'm not joking. There's no parts about this bike that scream, this is a pile of junk, or they cut corners, or they could have done better. This is heavy duty. Everything that they did with this thing it's just top notch. How about performance though? I mean, you know, when you hop on a mini bike, you have certain expectations, certain things that you think a mini bike should be able to do. This nails all of them. This does everything that you want a mini bike to do, but not smell and not make noise. So if you really want that brap, brap. Well, you're gonna have to put a speaker on and make that sound yourself because this bike isn't gonna do that. But she's gonna get up and go. Now, she's not gonna burn out. She's not gonna keep up with a 2-stroke. She's also not gonna disappoint you. She's gonna perform. And I'm looking for another fence here. Oh, here we go. One of the things to notice is that I'm actually taking this mini bike in places where it's plain and simple, just difficult to walk. Just navigating through this stuff, if I was walking it, would be treacherous because it's so rough. And the mini bike suspension system just compensates for it. It just goes. Oh, I smell a skunk. Oh yeah, I smell a skunk. Oh, big time. Now let's talk about how far it will go before you need a new set of batteries. Well, that depends on whether you're on-road or off-road. There is a huge effect in performance for distance when you go off-road to on-road. Now they claim you can go 20 miles on a single charge. On-road, you can go further than that. Off-road, there's not a chance you're gonna go 20 miles. So she's a little ripper. She gets up, she scoots, she goes, but the size could be a little bit bigger because it just performs so well. And it's a little heavy, but that comes down to that quality that we were talking about. She's not light, she's not flimsy. If you're thinking this is gonna be like an electric bike that you can take out and maneuver around, there is a lot more beef, a lot more bulk to this thing than there is with any electric bike out there. What the heck? Something big just went under there. Like I said, on this bike, you could sneak up on Mother Nature pretty fast and easy. And it's easy and convenient. This thing is so sweet to just get about on. Here's the deal. It runs off from 2 main batteries, but it has storage for a 3rd battery on board. And what I started to do was I've been using these batteries right here. The 12 amp hour battery. This is the most bang for the buck that you're gonna get on a battery right here. And it's gonna make this bike go a lot further than you would on any other set of batteries. When you start to hop on this thing, you'd be surprised at just how fast time goes by. Meaning, you'll run out of juice before you decide it's time to quit riding. The batteries themselves just slips, 2 batteries just slip straight in. And then there is storage for a third battery on the side, right here. So she runs off from 2, but there's storage for a third. And don't worry, if you do get your bike into a spot where maybe you need to back it up and you don't want to lift it, or maybe you're just not capable of lifting it, it has a reverse. So without doing anything special, hop on, you gotta put up your kickstand to activate your bike, turn your key on, and it's gonna be hard to see into the sun, but we're gonna pop her in reverse right now. And I'm not doing this. The bike is doing it all for me. Look, Ma, no hands. But it's also pretty nimble. It's not so heavy that you can't just manhandle it around wherever you want to go. Taken out by a stick. Let's see how she works. Oh yeah, she's angry. She wants to go. It does, nothing stops this machine. It just dug its own hole. I love this bike. Dude, this bike, yeah, okay, so you wipe out on the bike, but it's not like it's so big, heavy, and intimidating that you're like, oh my God, now what do I do? No, you just lift the fricker up and dust yourself off and you keep going. Now, we talked about it for an adult, but how would it be for a kid? Well, let's wrap your head around it. There's a lot of power, there's a lot of weight to this machine. So is this ideal for a kid? Well, you can flip the switch, you can flip the seat up, and there's a switch under the seat that takes it from adult mode to kid mode. So you can tune this down instantly by the flick of a switch. Also, it has 3 modes. It has eco mode, normal mode, and sport mode. And all 3 of those are kind of like a speed limiter as well. So there's different ways that you can set this up for the skill level of somebody that may not have skill in the beginning, but they want the experience of riding. But then as they get that experience, they want a little bit more performance out of their machine. Well, this actually, they kind of have it dialed in for you. Okay, so I guess one of the big things that is a real indicator of, hey, how good is something, is would you ever buy it again? This, 100%, in a heartbeat. If they made a bigger version, I'd buy that too. If they made one that ran off from 4 batteries so it could go further, I'd buy that. If it went faster, I'd probably kill myself on it, but I would buy it. All right, let's talk about some of the things that you are not going to experience with this bike. 20 miles single charge. Can you get that on this? Absolutely, in the city only. As soon as you start to go off trail, it takes up a lot more power and you're not gonna get anywhere close to 20 miles. At least I haven't gotten close to 20 miles on a single charge with this bike off-road. When I'm in the city, oh, for sure. What I found out is that at least in our neck of the woods, this mini bike right here, electric, battery powered, is considered to be the same as these guys right here for where you can travel. Now you better check your own neck of the woods to make sure that it's all good for you, but that's the rules as I understand them, at least in my area and from what I have personally experienced. So the startup procedure is pretty straightforward. Turn your key on, hit your go button, and you're in business. All right, guys, we just took her for about a 10-mile jaunt through the city. I got 3 out of 5 bars left. My batteries, you can also do an indicator, visual indicator that coincides with what they're saying on it. So if we went 10 miles and we've got more than half the battery left, she will go 20 miles. But that's it for this review. We got a total of 353 miles on this motorcycle. We've dropped it, flopped it, crashed it, bashed it, smashed it, done everything you can possibly think of with this thing. And would I buy it again? That's the main indicator. Really, the key to success is, would you recommend this to someone and would you buy it again? And my 2 answers are yes and yes. I would buy this again, and I would feel comfortable recommending this to someone. And one of the things I did forget to say about this is pop the seat off. There's a little tiny switch in it, and now you're in kid mode. So if you want to use this as a starter training bike for little ones, you absolutely can. It doesn't have to go 28 miles an hour. And in fact, the switch right here indicates just how fast you will go. So you've got E, economy mode, normal mode, and then sport mode. And that coincides with what you're seeing on the screen right there. That also coincides with how fast this mini bike could go. But that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed going along for the ride. I love making videos like this for you guys. Just let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. God bless, and go get them, you guys. We'll see you on another one.